Hello, and welcome back to our series on the Hall of Crucifixion Resurrection, or HOCR. Today we're going to look at Robert Clark's painting of the Resurrection, which was completed in 1965. The Resurrection, which is 70 feet wide and 51 feet tall, was painted by the American artist Robert Clark. It was conceived as a companion to the Crucifixion, which was created by Polish artist Jan Stika in the 1890s. While the Crucifixion depicts Christ on Good Friday, moments before he was crucified, the Resurrection shows Christ on Easter morning, just after he has emerged from his tomb. An angel sits nearby, and on the hill in the background is Golgotha, the place where Jesus was crucified. Look closely, and you will see that within the rock-cut tomb is Christ's funeral shroud. Outside, Jesus gestures towards the heavens where the faithful are gathered. Beyond this group of countless figures are a number of famous churches. On the left is Hagia Sophia, the 6th century church in Istanbul. Moving towards the right, we see Mont Saint-Michel, a medieval church located atop of a fairy tale-like perch in Normandy, France. Next is the cathedral in Florence, Italy, a marvel of engineering and masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Nearby is St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, an important symbol of the papacy and the largest church in the world. On the far right is St. Paul's Cathedral in London, which replaced an earlier church that was destroyed in the city's Great Fire during the late 17th century. Below this is the Old North Church in Boston. In the same year the painting was completed, Forest Lawn finished construction on a full-scale replica of the Old North Church at Hollywood Hills, which is shown here during its dedication ceremony, so this church provides a connection not just to America, but to Forest Lawn. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about the Resurrection is the fact that it moves. It is part of a multimedia narrative that begins by telling the story of the crucifixion and concludes with the resurrection. Robert Clark's painting, which is more than 4 stories tall, slides on a track located just in front of the crucifixion. While the idea of a moving painting might seem unprecedented, this isn't the first time it's been done. In the Church of the Gesù in Rome, which is the mother church of the Jesuit order, there is a painting of St. Ignatius kneeling in prayer before Christ. Every evening at 5:30, the painting is lowered and a silver and gold statue of St. Ignatius in glory is revealed. Although the crucifixion and resurrection are displayed in the same building, the stories of how these artworks arrived here could not be more different. Jan Stika's crucifixion traveled extensively. It was painted in Poland, and it went to several cities, including Warsaw, Moscow, Kiev, St. Louis, and Chicago, before arriving in Glendale. In sharp contrast, the Resurrection has never left this building. In fact, it was even painted on site. Forest Lawn constructed a studio for Robert Clark as a sort of annex to the HOCR. This is also the space where today the painting is housed when not on display. In these archival photos, you can see the blank canvas in front of the crucifixion in 1961 before Clark began the project. And here you can see Robert Clark standing on scaffolding as he works on his expansive painting. Despite their different histories, the two works of art in the HOCR are closely linked to one another. The gloomy sky of Good Friday has transformed into a pastel-hued sunrise on Easter morning. Both scenes take place on the outskirts of Jerusalem. Robert Clark kept the crenellated city wall used by Jan Stika, while many of the buildings in the background of his 1965 artwork are identical to those in the much earlier painting of the crucifixion. However, observant viewers will notice a clever detail in the resurrection. Clark added orange California poppies in the foreground, both near the angel on the left and in front of the wall on the right. In doing so, he tied the far-off world of ancient Jerusalem to the local landscape, where you can find countless orange poppies blooming each spring around the time of the Easter holiday. The flowers grow throughout Southern California, and even right outside the HOCR. Check back soon for a bonus video when we share some of our favorite facts and trivia about the building and the works of art inside.